Hello, everyone. Thanks for being here today. I want to start with something I've been thinking about a lot lately, a question that comes up again and again in conversations I have. Why does my adult child get so defensive when I'm just trying to help? Today's story comes from a conversation with a mother in her late 50s. Her daughter is 26, lives at home, and they're stuck in this exhausting loop. Same arguments, different day. The mother says things like, I only ask her to come home at a reasonable hour. I tell her not to blow all her money on clothes. I just want her to be more responsible. But every conversation ends the same way. Raised voices, slammed doors, and both of them feeling hurt, misunderstood, and completely drained. If you're a parent of an adult child, especially one who's still living under your roof, stick around. Because what I'm about to share might shift how you see this whole dynamic. And if you're the adult child in this scenario, well, you might find some clarity here too. On the surface, this looks pretty straightforward, right? Parent wants structure. Adult child wants freedom. Classic clash. But here's what I've come to understand. This isn't actually a discipline problem. It's a relationship transition problem. The relationship evolved, but the rules of engagement didn't. Think about it. The mother is still operating from the caretaker role she's had for 26 years. The daughter, meanwhile, is demanding to be seen as a fully functioning adult. When those two positions collide, fireworks. And here's the tricky part. Both people think they're absolutely right. The mother believes she's being responsible. The daughter believes she's being suffocated. And they're both kind of correct. Let me say something that might sting a little. The mother in this story has genuinely good intentions. She really does. She says, I just want to guide her. I want her life to be easier than mine was. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Advice given without permission often lands as control, not care. Especially with adult children. By your mid-20s, you're not really asking, is this good advice? You're asking, do you see me as a competent adult? And when the answer feels like no, even subtly, even the wisest guidance will bounce right off. It doesn't matter how right you are. It doesn't matter how much experience you have. If it feels like you're talking down instead of across, it won't land. I know that's hard to hear, but understanding this is half the battle. All right, let's slow down and look at what's actually going on beneath all these arguments. The mother is feeling fear about her daughter's future, anxiety about letting go, a loss of purpose now that protecting looks different. The daughter is feeling monitored, judged, like she's being treated as a teenager instead of an equal. And here's the key insight that changes everything. The daughter's resistance isn't rebellion, it's self-preservation. She's not saying, I hate my mother. She's saying, I need you to see me differently. And when that need isn't met, the frustration spills out sideways in arguments about curfews and spending habits and every other little thing. The content of the fight doesn't really matter. The relational dynamic does. So what actually works? Not better explanations, not more compelling arguments, not emotional appeals. What works is a role shift. Instead of parent to child, the relationship needs to become adult to adult. And that means three things. First, stop managing behavior. Start setting boundaries. Boundaries aren't about changing the other person. They're about defining what you need to feel okay in a shared space. Second, separate love from logistics. You can love your child deeply and still require financial contribution, house rules, or clear timelines. These aren't contradictory. Third, replace control with choice plus consequence. Freedom without responsibility breeds resentment. Responsibility without freedom breeds rebellion. Adults need both. And honestly, so do you. Let me give you a concrete example. Instead of, you need to come home earlier, try, hey, if we're sharing a home as adults, I need certain agreements so I can feel at peace here. What works for you? Instead of, stop wasting money on clothes, try, I'm not going to comment on your spending choices anymore. But living here as an adult means contributing financially. Let's figure out what that looks like. Notice the difference? No lectures, no moral framing, no implied judgment. Just clarity. This isn't punishment. This is adult reality. And here's the thing, when you stop trying to convince them and start simply stating what you need, something interesting happens. They actually have room to think, to choose, to step up, or not. And then you get to decide what you do next. Now, quick sidebar. If you're nodding along thinking, yes, I need to send this to my daughter, or I'm going to use this on my mom, pause. Here's the thing. This only works when you apply it to yourself. If you use this as ammunition to prove someone else is wrong, it backfires. Badly. People don't change because we've found the perfect argument. They change when they feel safe enough to reflect. So keep this for your own growth. Don't weaponize it. Let me leave you with this. Your adult child doesn't need more guidance. They need more respect and clearer structure. And here's the paradox. When parents let go of control, they often fear losing connection. But actually, respect is what makes real connection possible again. This shift is hard. It can feel like grief sometimes, mourning the role you used to have. But it's also an invitation to a more honest, more equal, and ultimately more sustainable relationship. If this resonated with you, you're not alone in this. So many of us are navigating these transitions, and they're messy for everyone. One last thing, everything I've shared today is just my perspective, based on conversations and observations over the years. This isn't therapy, and it's not a substitute for professional support if you need it. If you're really struggling, please reach out to someone qualified to help. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.